Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first journal with me of the new year. So, right now I'm just writing my name at the beginning of the journal because I actually got a new journal for Christmas. So, this is the, I believe, A5 Archer and Olive journal. I will have it linked down below if you are curious, but I'm very excited to have a new journal for the new year. So, I am doing a kind of neutral gray and black and white theme for my beginning spreads just because I like to keep the very beginning neutral. So I'm just writing 2020 on this first page, and I will add washi tape and all of that type of stuff just to the beginning page to make it a bit more exciting. Also, you will see later on in the video, I come back to this page and outline 2020 in black. I didn't do that right now because I think I was too excited to use my new washi tape that I got for Christmas, so I completely forgot to outline it, but you will see me do that later. So this next page is going to be like my future log or 2020 year at a glance page. I'm just going to be drawing each month out so I kind of have one place to see the entire calendar for the whole year. I also got this idea from the channel Plant-Based Bride. I will have her channel linked down below, but I wanted to mention that because I got the idea to draw the calendar out on these two pages and then go through and circle important dates and then list those dates and why they're important later on. So holidays and birthdays and things like that, I will circle and then write down the date underneath of it. I do show an example, so hopefully you can sort of see it when I show that, but yeah, that is a great place and a great way to kind of keep track of everything important throughout the year. I really like having this page at the very beginning of my journal. So I actually only show myself drawing a couple of the months just because I thought it would be a lot to sit here and watch me number every single month. So I kind of show January and December just to show you what I'm doing. And now I'm writing 2020 in the center. I really like how this came out. I definitely could have drawn the 2020 a bit bigger because I wanted to just make sure that I had enough room under and above each month to write the important dates, but I definitely could have written it a bit bigger, but I do like how little it is. I think it looks really cute. And now right here, I'm kind of showing, you can't really see it because of my hand, but I'm going through and circling the important dates in January, writing the number of that date and then why it's important. So I just kind of circled New Year's Day and then wrote that down. So now on this next page are two spreads that I'm very excited to use throughout the year. So on the left side, what I'm doing right now is drawing a bookshelf. So I ended up drawing 100 books on the bookshelf to kind of keep track of every single book I read throughout the year. I ended up drawing 100 books. Even though I don't expect to read 100, I set my goal for 50 books, but I drew 100 because I wanted to make sure I had enough in case I read more than my goal. And I did this because I do think that there is a chance of me reading more than 50 books in the year, but also in my 2019 journal, I didn't draw enough books on my bookshelf. I did this sort of similar thing in my 2019 journal, and I ran out of books, so I kept having to draw more and add more to the bookshelf, and it ended up just looking a bit messy. So I really wanted to make sure that I had enough books that where it would look nice and neat and it wouldn't end up looking messy at the end of the year. I also decided not to show myself drawing every single book I put on the bookshelf. I ended up going through and sketching what books I wanted in what place and what I wanted it to look like, and then going back and drawing them out. So I don't show myself doing every single book, but I think you kind of get the idea when I show the first shelf. So now we are moving on to the right side of this spread. So I do want to quickly apologize for my head kind of peeking in some of these shots. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to record these videos, so forgive me for my head and my nose kind of making appearances. But this spread is going to be my movies and TV shows watched throughout the year. So I just kind of wanted to have a place where I could write down every movie and every TV show that I watched throughout the year. I'm not the biggest TV show and movie watcher, but I still like having a list to kind of see everything that I watched throughout the year. Also, those little bits of white on the film, on the top and the bottom of the film, do kind of get covered when I go in with the black marker, but I did end up buying a white gel pen after I filmed this video, so I just kind of took the white gel pen and went over it again to kind of make those white sections in the film, so even though they do look covered now, I did actually end up fixing it. So I just wrote movies next to the film strip, and now down below I am drawing a kind of old-fashioned TV. I got this doodle idea from Pinterest. I will again try to link everything that kind of inspired these spreads down below, but then I'm just writing TV shows underneath of it, and then I decided to add a bit of washi tape just to make it a bit more interesting. I don't love the way that the lettering for movies and TV shows came out, so I may end up going back and fixing that later, but as of right now, this is what I do, and I still really like these two spreads. So now we are moving on to my next spread, which I'm very excited about. I actually got the idea for this spread from Trin, from Transformers, who again I will have linked down below, but basically these two spreads are going to have 12 boxes for the 12 favorite books of each month that I read. So I wanted to kind of have a place to look back on every month and see what my favorite book that I read that month was. So what I will do is print out a picture of the book cover that was my favorite book from that month and put it on the square. So I end up going back and labeling each month, and I do end up making a mistake at this part. I end up putting a gray strip in one of the boxes because I wasn't paying attention, but I was gonna fix it, but then I realized it'd be covered by a book cover anyway, so I just kind of leave it for now. So it does look a little bit annoying, but I promise it will be fixed and will be covered later on. So after I label each box for each month, I go in with this washi tape that is just kind of handwritten words, and I thought it just kind of went with this spread while also still being neutral and kind of fitting my gray, black, and white theme for the beginning of the year. So I just go in and add that at the top and the bottom, and I'm still really happy with how this spread turned out. I think in the space underneath each box, I might write a quote or something from the book. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do in that space quite yet, but I will probably put something there. And yeah, I'm just really happy with how this spread came out. So as I said earlier, this is me kind of flipping back and outlining the 2020 in black. I just think it looks a lot better and a lot neater. So yeah, that's me outlining 2020 in the black marker. So there you have it. Those are my 2020 beginning of the year spreads. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm very excited to continue on with journal videos in the new year, but thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.